This is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. We have with us today, this is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. We have with us today Antwan Alexander, who founded the Hooded Hope movement. Welcome, Antwan. How are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please describe for our listeners the Hood Hope movement and what inspired you to found the organization.
Well, growing up in Chicago, I experienced a lot of different experiences. And some of those experiences led me into conflicts with law enforcement, led me to being incarcerated. And while I was incarcerated, I read a lot of books. So it was kind of like similar to Malcolm X's version. Like once he came in contact with all that knowledge, he became a different person. So that was my similar transformation. While I was incarcerated, I read a lot of books, and I still read. But reading those books really changed me and inspired me to start Hood Hope, because I felt like there's a lot of organizations out here that do good work, but I felt those organizations need a common ground, one umbrella to stand under, so to speak, as far as different Jehovah's Witnesses, Christians, Muslims, these different street tribes, Democrat, Republicans, etc. They have differences, and a lot of times they like to stress that, but what do they have in common? So I felt like Hood Hope could be the one thing that we all have in common, and we could come together up under that demonstration. So that's why I started, as opposed to just coming home and joining this organization and joining, because I work with a lot of them. But yeah, I gotta have Hood Hope, because it's just, that's what the Spirit put on my heart to do.
All those organizations that you listed, like Jehovah's Witnesses, Muslims, etc., you have worked with all of them?
And I still do.
Oh, nice. How, in what ways do you work with them?
Well, for example, with the Nation of Islam, we do a youth summit every year, sometimes more than one. We got a youth summit coming up with them July 20th. We're going to be at the mosque on 73rd and Stony Island. And shout out to Sister Sandra and all the sisters involved with that. So that's going to be on 73rd and Stony Island. The children are going to be allowed to come in and eat for free.
What time is it?
Yeah, we offer different economic opportunities as far as employment, training, as far as the children will be allowed to come up there and vend certain merchandise so they can make them a couple of dollars. And this year it's going to be a little different, because normally we just have our speakers come in and address the crowd, but this time we're going to actually have a panel. So there'll be back and forth, there'll be some engagement, so this is a little different, where the youth and guests actually get to speak up and ask questions and things like that.
It's nice. That's very important to engage them. What is your background? How did that prepare you for this work? I know that you read a lot of books. I'm assuming that Malcolm X was your favorite author?
Yes. We love Malcolm X. I would say he's one of my favorite authors because of the similarities in our transformation, as far as him growing up in the streets and using drugs and, the lifestyle he had, which led to him being incarcerated. And so he was able to relate more to street people, because that's where he came from. So it's similar as when you go to Alcoholics Anonymous or Gamblers Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. The people that are in charge of the healing, that are in charge of the transformation, are people that have been involved in that. It's people that former alcoholics, former crackheads, or crack addicts, or whatever the term is, to help others, to say, hey, I know your walk. So when you got somebody from the streets, that's the best person to relate to the streets, because you actually feel their pain. You actually relate to them. You actually walked in those shoes. So people that graduate from college and come back to the hood and stuff, that's great, but your purpose is a little bit different, because you haven't walked in that person's shoes.
There have been many incarcerated people, but few have gone on to start a movement as yourself. Is there any characteristics about you and people similar to you that would actually ignite your passion to do advocacy?
Well, you got to look if you look at a crime rate, because the crime rate does exist, most likely in impoverished communities and poor communities, like in higher economic developed communities, there's really no crime rate at all, period. If, you know, so this, the economics have a lot to do with the crime rate and the situation and the environment. So that's inspiring to a person to want to get out of that, you know, to want to live a better life and live a more comfortable life. As far as being passionate about helping other people, that comes from, if you born, when we born, no one's born a drug dealer and says to themselves when they're 3 or 4, hey, I think it'd be nice to just deal drugs and maybe like go to prison, might get killed, but hey, that's great. I don't think no one really thinks like that. No one's born saying, okay, I'm gonna grow up and be homeless, or I'm gonna grow up and kill people, or whatever. But something happens in your life that leads you down this path where you might become a drug addict, an alcoholic, or anything that you wasn't born this way. And so somehow something led you down that path. And so what led me down the path of being motivated to the exact total polar opposite was because living on that side of the fence and experiencing that, and then reading those books and experiencing something else allowed me as a Libra to find balance, because it's no balance in that street life.
Right.
You know, it's no balance in hurting other people. You see what I'm saying? That's not going to help you feel better. It may give you a little personal gratification, like if somebody did something to hurt you, and you hurt, you got tears in your eyes, somebody hurt your family member, and you may want to retaliate. And that's not, I believe in justice, but I don't believe in vengeance. So I didn't do 15 years and come home and hunt down the people that came to court and lied on me, because in those 15 years I had healed. So if I would have came home trying to do something to them, that wouldn't have been justice. That would have been vengeance. And my God handles vengeance. Now I can handle justice. That means that I'm dealing with it right there on the spot. And so I'm acting as an authority figure in that point. But yeah, that's my motivation too.
Did you have any mentors? Or was it just the books that inspired you, the message in the books?
Well, I've always been kind of independent and been like my own leader. And kind of like from a shorty coming up, I had a problem with authority figures anyway. My mentors was those characters in the books. So you got Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., who was assassinated by Chicago police, 100 shots in the cover-up. So I felt that that particular person was fascinating to me, that he would put his life on the line for other people. And I just felt that that was like a real hero. That was something to look up to. And I could go on and on with the name dropping. You know, Malcolm X is a celebrity, but you got Frances Cress Welsing. You got, Harriet Tubman, who risked her life time and time again. She risked her life to help other people, according to the story. And so that was inspiring to me, so.
Absolutely. Do you have any volunteers?
We got a lot of volunteers. Some of them tuning in right now. What up, Arneo Bay? What up, Carolyn? Yeah, we got a lot of volunteers. So we want to get into the situation of not necessarily paid volunteers or whatever you call them, but we want to get into the situation of we're helping the people, and we are the people. So we have to help ourselves too before we're in a position where we really need some help, because we didn't extended ourselves so far helping other people. So it's great to have volunteers. It's great to have donations and people that help out. But it's also great to be able to help other people too. So it's just one big circle that we got to get just rolling smooth.
Is that how you got your volunteers, by helping them and then they wanted to give back?
Absolutely. Like, once you pay it forward, they came up with a nice saying for it. It's called paying it forward. So basically, once I started volunteers in those youth centers and working with our children from the kindness of my heart with no salary, a lot of people was attracted to that. One of my main mentors, Isaac Baker X, who has Golden Points, he liked it that, to see a guy come home, and I was a little bigger than this back then, a little bit rougher around the edges. But I came home and God put me straight in front of our children. And so that's what I had to do. And so the community can respect that when you're working with the children.
Were you a rap artist before starting this movement?
Yes. We love music. I love music. Yeah, we love music. I spit bars. I got bars. And I always have been in a rap, but I was greatly influenced by a lot of, I don't know what they call it now. They call it real rap, gangster rap, or whatever they call it. But to me, it's negative energy, to be honest. And that's just no disrespect. all that profanity, all that misogyny, disrespecting women, all this promoting drugs and crime. It's just, and then it's something about that frequency and that beat. I don't, I like some of it, and I used to rap that way a little bit myself coming up, so I can understand, but I'm grown now, so I got a different technique, different style, and yeah, but I still love music. I'm still into hip hop. We still do shows. We still put out videos, hip hop movies, and all that stuff that come along with taking advantage of today's technology.
Do you write a lot of your own songs?
All of them.
Nice.
I think about I should start ghostwriting for some of these younger cats, so they can run around the stage. We get too old for that.
How can hip hop art help move the Hood Hope movement forward?
How can hip hop art help move the movement forward? Well, one thing about hip hop is it's a means of communication. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to a song and find out what's going on in the Bronx. You can listen to a song and find out what's going on in down south, how they felt about the hurricane. Real people that was really there expressing how they felt through their own words. So it's a means of communication. And then, like, y'all got art back there on the wall. So music and art goes hand in hand. It's two different forms of art. So we can use that mainly as a form of communication to bring awareness, because, some music is conscious, some art is conscious, to make people think and elevate their consciousness to a higher level, just get their mind.
That's what you like, right?
Exactly. To put positive energy out, because I can't really be too much concerned with what somebody else putting out and just steady criticizing and worrying about what they putting out. Well, we got to put out our own energy,
Are you able to hold any of your open mics in local churches?
Well, we do open mics all over wherever we can, and that's like a Chicago thing. I don't really know what's going on in a lot of other towns with regards to open mics. I'm sure they get it lit too, but ain't no place like the Shy, and there ain't no set tripping. So we do have a lot of open mics here, but one thing that's unique about a Hood Hope open mic is that we open it up to the public. We affiliated with a lot of different artists in the city, a lot of different organizations in the city to do this type of work. So we got people like Aisha Rage from So Fresh Saturdays. They do it every Saturday. And you got Peace Over East. That's every Sunday. So it's basically a bunch of people from the hood coming together, providing resources. Had a DJ out there, depending on which park, because some parks don't allow you to barbecue and stuff like that. They got rules. But depending on which park and what's going on, we have food out there and stuff like that. And we have a bunch of fun, and the mic is open. But yeah, when it comes to doing a show, though, it got to be organized. Can't just have random people wanting to get on the mic. And some people that actually come perform, they have a following. They have built up a following based on their talent. So they got a time they need to be there and a time they need to leave. They might have another show. People got lives to live. And a lot of this stuff is volunteer work. So when you're not paying someone, you really got to work with them. It's not like they're really obligated. All of us is really kind of doing this from, from our heart, for real, for real.
And that helps to get the youth inspired in art and in the community. Is that what drives you?
Facts, because the youth. One thing about the youth to me are really the only ones that's innocent. No disrespect to people my age, no disrespect to people older. It's like sometimes we can get stuck in our ways, and so we want the youth to get stuck in positive ways, to have a habit of being positive. To teach them about the ramifications of this legal marijuana. Cigarettes is also legal, and they say secondhand smoke kills people, etc. So we want to just educate our youth to help them be the best they can be. I think a lot of times maybe we're not being allowed to be the best we can be. They had a rap group, Arrested Development, and so sometimes your development can become arrested. You see, and so if your development is arrested, then you'll never get a chance to fully develop into who you can really be and what you can really offer the world.
When you hold your open mics, how much does it approximately cost? Just to give folks an idea about what it takes to do this.
Well, if you're doing an open mic, sometimes we was literally like bogarting the parks, just setting up our own thing. But you're really supposed to go get you a permit, and it's kind of deep to ask somebody else for permission to do good work in your hood. But I had to understand that, because what it was is, you may have a permit to do some good work in the park, or just a family reunion, or just something with the children, some baseball. and I don't know about your permit. I just want to come do peace. I just want to help my people. I just want to stop the violence. So I don't care what's going on. I'm just setting up my stuff. And you come over there like, hey, wait a minute. You know, I got the children with me and stuff like that. I got a permit. And so that's why I started understanding more why they was making us go through the paperwork to promote our peace. So once you go through the permit part, permit is pretty much free unless it's, you know, something else going on. But really it's supposed to be free. Then you get your permit. So basically what you're looking for is to pay for a DJ. Because sometimes you get what you pay for and you want to get quality in his work. And then you probably can have food pantries and stuff like that, donate food, or you can take up a collection. This is the DJ. Food, yeah, okay. Barbecue, charcoal, whatever sauce you like. We make our own sauce, one dip, no lip. But yeah, so yeah, once you got that part, and then people that come gonna bring their own grill. A lot of people bring their own barbecue grill and their own charcoal and their own tent, and they just come for the open mic or the softball. And shout out to Dante from Notarized Inc. at Peace Over East, which they help orchestrate that and keep that going. What up, Julio?
Are you able to recruit any artists from high schools and colleges and universities?
We get artists from all over the city, and so it's no limit to where we could recruit them from. And like I say, I'm pretty much targeting and focusing on the youth, and that's my thing. Like, I had kind of got away from the youth for a while because there was a lot of, you know, activism in our city with Kim Fox and just everything from the Quan McDonald. You know, they just dropped the movie 16 Shots on Showtime, and that's a good movie and stuff. And it was just so much going on. I kind of like, I wasn't running my youth program. And that's where my energy at. And when I had got back around the youth and I was feeling the youth and getting back in, it just felt good. Like I was tired of grown people, you know. So yeah, we they all over. Chicago's so full of talent that it's like you can get them from anywhere, from college, from high school, from just off the street, you know.
Have you worked with any local school council members, like parents or any other members, just to help move your movement forward?
Yeah, we worked with everybody pretty much in the city because our slogan is from the block to the boardroom, boots on the ground. So definitely, you know, the Moore Science Temple of America, the United Negro Improvement Association, the Nation of Islam, even Father Flagrant over there with Catholic Charities. They do good work in the community as far as helping ex-offenders and prevent the recidivism rate, as far as people returning back and stuff like that. And as far as, it's been an actual pleasure working with all these people in Chicago that do a lot of work. It is churches that do work. Some churches got a bad reputation, and that's on them. But it is a lot of churches that do good work in the community, like Trinity, Pastor Moss, them out in the hundreds, Brazen, them church over there in Woodlawn, where they got a new altar woman and stuff like that. So if you on that page, you'll never run out of work to do, and you'll never run out of finding people that want to do it with you. Now, there's some fake people out here too now, so you got to be careful.
During the election season, have any of your open mics or any of your events focused on engaging new voters?
Absolutely. It was a very, very exciting election in Chicago, and even though a lot of us grassroots people, we really don't see politics in such a bright light, but it serves its purpose. And it was a very exciting election to me. I rode with state reps to engage the people in the hood to get them registered to vote, to bring awareness to the situation. We did a lot of Facebook Lives. We shot a lot of videos and commercials. We was at the subway and just giving people a chance to voice their concerns. And you see, we got Lori Lightfoot out the situation. She kind of didn't come out of nowhere, but it's kind of surprising. So we're going to see. Okay. I guess the main Hood Hope Movement success story I want to share is my own son. I got locked up in 1999. I came home in 2013. So when I got locked up, he was inside his mother's stomach. So when I got out, he was 14. And he really needed his dad. And to give people just a quick synopsis of it, or how it go, it's a movie out. It's Boys in the Hood. And it's when Angela Bassett, she took Cuba Gooding Jr. to live with Lawrence Fishburne. And so it was that stage in that male's life where he really just needed his dad. Not downplaying the woman. My son's mother did an excellent job. But it's only so much a mother can do. It's only so much a father can do. It's only so much anybody can do. But I can literally testify to the fact that I feel like I got him right on time. And now, you know, he's living out of town. He's working a couple of jobs. He's doing good. Like, he's doing better than me. No matter what else in my life happens, I have succeeded. But if he's not doing better than me, no matter what else I accomplish in my life, then I have failed. So my son is doing good. So that's the real testimony. Like, yeah, we help people get jobs. You know, we help people find housing. We feed people, pass out food and stuff like that. We just went out to Dalton. That's on Facebook the other day. Shout out to Mike Earnhardt and Chance the Rapper. You know, they passed out free food, free clothes, etc. It was like the Rolls Royce of giveaways. But we took 2 buses of people out there, chaperone people, children, and stuff like that. And so that's a success to me as well. But yeah, my own son. What up, Lisa Briscoe? What up, Brown?
What is most frustrating in sustaining the Hood Hope movement, and how do you overcome that challenge?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Yes, is so a lot of grassroots organizations. We talk about money, so some people actually get government grants and things of that nature. And I'm not upset with that. Some people get those government grants and do the right thing with them, and that's wonderful. I've actually benefited from before, you know, having fiscal agents and stuff like that. And so mainly we do a lot of fundraising, and sometimes we rely on donations from our people. But yeah, that's kind of frustrating for us. Like, I was thinking about getting a CDL, you know what I'm saying? Like, really want to make me some money, but then the creator always pulled my heart back to, you know, like boots on the ground, community work. I started it, like, so it is what it is now. So that's the only frustrating part, is like not having enough to do everything I want to do for myself and for my people. You know, I want to help my people every day and give back all the time. It's just sometimes it's not there, you know.
What advice do you have for students and our community in effective volunteering and advocacy?
Mm. Well, with regard to advice for young people, students that want to get off into advocacy, want to get off into community work, it depends on where your heart is at. Some people are good coaches, some people are good cooks, some people are good counselors. You know, some people are good drivers. We need, you know, safe drivers. We need people that understand sanitation and stuff like that. So it's always room for you, is what I want to say. You may be into just disc jockey, you know, show hosting, entertainment. So it's always room for anybody that wants to get involved. They can't look at it like it's no place for me in advocacy.